Hi, this is Adam Goldberg, co-founder and chief innovation officer at Clear Sailing. Today we're presenting the 7th part in a 10-part series on the Attribution Management Buyers Guide, with the focus today on the variable of time. Time is one of the most impactful variables when doing attribution, as it's very important as to the look-back window or the time between steps in a path. And in order to make sure that when you're working with a company that offers attribution, or you're buying a technology or building your own, that you're getting what you need out of that variable, we have some very pointed questions that you should ask any vendor, any agency, or your own internal teams that are building solutions for you to address that very important variable of time. So first is, very simply, just how is time factored into your attribution models? Very open-ended question to get you started. Secondly is what kind of options and flexibility do you have? Are you forced to use just a 30-day window from the time of conversion? Are you forced just to look back 30 days or a set 60-day period? Or if you wanted to look back a certain number of days, 47, 182, do you have that kind of flexibility within that system? Thirdly is you're going to want to know the time that it takes a consumer from the very first visit to your site to close, from the last visit to your site to the time that they close, as well as all the steps in between. You want to be able to very clearly see that, as there's a lot of value to be garnered from that type of information, but also going to be very important for the weighting of your attribution, weights of those ad sources. You're also going to want to know and ask, are you going to be able to tell me the difference between ad clicks versus ad impressions? Direct visits to the site through the address bar, through a bookmark, or through organic visits? Are they going to be able to show that clearly in a purchase path and be able to timestamp those? Most of the technology you're going to work with are going to be using a cookie-based technology, so therefore it's important to know how long that cookie lasts. Is it only a 30-day cookie? What if my sales cycle is much longer than that? Is that enough to really give me the accurate picture? Does that cookie renew itself every time that they visit? So you want a very long cookie length, and also one that's going to renew with each new visit that that customer has. And then lastly is, well, how do I know what the appropriate time is, for my window? For my business, should I be looking back 30 days from conversion, 60 or 90? How do they go about solving that? We have a pretty simple method at Clear Sailing that's very effective. Once we work with a client for a long enough period of time, we just simply run a report from the very first visit to the time of close, and we figure out how many days that is, or our report just tells us that in terms of days. We then look at what period it took our client to close 80 or 90% of their business, and that's really the rule that we'll use for that window. We'll continue to evaluate that over time. So, in closing, it's very, it's ideal that the vendor or the solution or the agency or what you're building has a lot of flexibility. It gives you the ability to see from first click to close, last click to close, and all the time intervals in between. It allows you to set that window to the length that makes sense for your business, not some canned weights, and that cookie renews often enough that it allows you to take advantage of the fact that you might have longer sales cycles and not be limited to just work with whatever can be seen within 30 days. So again, I am Adam Goldberg, co-founder and chief innovation officer at Clear Sailing. This is the 7th part of our 10-part series on the Attribution Management Buyers Guide. Stay tuned for parts 8, 9, and 10. Thank you.